Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to a new video with me, Fuzzball40. As always, if you're new around here, make sure you subscribe down below and make sure your notifications are turned on so you never miss an upload. We are now in the full build up to FIFA 22. I'm extremely hyped for it. I cannot wait for the new game to come out. The first month or two of a new game of FIFA is always the best. And so the video is going to be helping you guys build up, make the right decisions when the game first comes out. There's going to be all the how to get started guides, all the early trading tips for you guys, all the early grind tips. And I promise you, if you stick with the channel, you will not have to spend any of your money on the game this year. I can guarantee it. You'll be able to do everything I do, basically, and build ridiculously meta teams that will help you compete at the end of the day, because that's what we're here for. The gameplay, from what I've played of the beta, the gameplay is better than I thought it was going to be, but I'll reserve judgment until the game actually comes out. But I sort of wonder where the hell the player ratings are, but we'll see what happens with those. But this video, basically, a lot of people last year, when I first started this game, asked me why I didn't use the Premier League as much as other people do. And this video is to show you why you should avoid the Premier League for building your first squads at all costs. Now, obviously, the Premier League is the most popular league in the world. It's watched by more than any other league. It's, in my opinion, the best league in the world. I know people disagree, but I think it's the most competitive league in the world. And it's the most popular league to use on this game. And that's only going to increase this year with the amount of talent that's been brought into the Premier League. Obviously, Ronaldo, Sancho, it's ridiculous. Grealish should move across, obviously. And it's only going to increase the prices, in my opinion. Now, I want to show you on Footbin today differences in squads and what you can get for your money early game based upon what happened last year. It's the same every year, basically, in the way that it goes. So we'll head over to Footbin. I'm going to show you guys 3 different squads and show you the cost of those squads so you get an idea of what you get for your money. I'll be right back. Alright guys, so welcome over to Footbin. Apologies for the ads, I don't know how to get rid of them, they're just jamming there. But as you can see on screen, we have what I would say is a team that's feasible within the first couple of weeks of FIFA for most people. Not everyone, but for most people. This is a sort of feasible teams that I was seeing at that point last year. So basically, for date reference, all these prices are relevant from the 13th of October, bar Tellers at the corner because I think he had a weird price range, but he ended up costing 37k not long after that, so that's what I priced him at. But this is the sort of team, if you're going full Premier League, obviously not everyone does, people do branch off and hybrid and whatever, but for the purposes of this video, full Premier League, and that is what we're looking at. So striker-wise, Rodrigo was ridiculously OP last year. A lot of people put him into their squads for the first month or two. Lucas Moura, right wing. Zaha, 5-star skills, left wing. Fred, Allen, Sissoko, those stats made them all infinitely usable cards. They were usable, Sissoko especially, was usable for the first 3 months. It was ridiculous. Then in defence, Tellez, Sanchez, everyone used him. Gomez, the bane of everyone's life early game with 82 pace. Semedo at right back with 92 pace. And then Pope. Now, I could have chosen a different keeper because the comparisons I'm going to give you, they're better keepers that are more expensive. But I'm being honest here, Pope everyone used. Let's be honest, I don't know many teams that ran Premier League and didn't run Pope. The only one that came close was Edison. A lot of people liked Edison too. I loved Edison this year. But I put Pope in there. Cheap beast. Fantastic. This team meets all the requirements of an early game team. I mean, when we say early game, I don't mean first day of release. I mean within the first month or so. But Zaha on left wing, 5-star skills, loads of pace. Rodrigo up top, loads of pace. Lucas, loads of pace. There are differing formations, but I've just gone 4-3-3 on all of them to make it easier. Fred, good pace in midfield, same as Sissoko. Allen, very good defensively, a good all-round defensive midfielder. Pace on Tellez, pace on Semedo. Sanchez isn't the fastest, but again, not all the leagues have ridiculously fast centre-backs like Gomez, who has got ridiculous amounts of pace early game, and then Pope. So, with that in mind, this team on the 13th of October last year, 2020, would have cost you 589,000 coins on PlayStation 4, and on Xbox it would have cost you 484,000 coins. That's the price of this team. What I would say about that is it's just not worth it. It's a good team. It is a good team. It's going to be competitive. It's going to do well in Foot Champs. But in my opinion, you're buying this team based upon the fact that you want to have Premier League cards in your team. Now, I don't blame you if you're a Leeds fan or if you're an Everton fan or a United fan or whatever it is, and you're thinking you want to use your favourite players. I get it. I do. But let me show you what you get for your money elsewhere. So this is a Bundesliga starting team, and you'll see a theme sort of appearing here in terms of what I've gone and done. I've tried to match them up like for like, basically, in terms of positions of what you can basically get for your money. So at left wing in this team, we have Costa, who's 1 rating higher, 5-star skill moves, just like Zaha. I think both have 3-star weak foot. Hwang Hee-chan, now he's not quite as good as Rodrigo, but again, very pacey, decent shooting. He was ridiculously overpowered at the beginning of the game. Bellarabi, not far from a mirror image of Lucas Moura, maybe slightly less dribbling on him, but a bit more passing, slightly less shooting, more physical. There's not much in between the two of them. Conrad Laimer at left centre mid, this guy here, absolute beast of a card last year. 85 pace on a central midfielder. Good dribbling, good defensive stats, good passing, good physicals, very well rounded. Goretzka, I even went a step above Allen on this team, and if you look at Goretzka, again, unbelievably well rounded, not far off Hullet Club, but 78 pace, 82 dribbling, 78 shooting, 77 defending, 80 passing, 82 physical. Zakaria, another central midfielder with 83 pace this time, great defensive stats, good dribbling, good passing for early game, brilliant midfield there. And then I even went for the most expensive left back outside of Ferdinand Mendy at left back here, Davies, 96 pace on a left back, utterly unreal. My 2 centre backs, Alaba, like 3 ratings higher than Davinson Sanchez, with more pace as well. Klosterman, who was ridiculously overpowered, he's sort of meeting the Davinson Sanchez element to this in terms of a low rated card. Alaba meeting Gomez in terms of price. Klosterman, 84 pace on him. He was a beast at the beginning of the game. Decent dribbling, very good defensive stats again. Passing a little whiffy, but he's a centre back, it's fine. And Babu right back, 89 pace, good defensive stats, great physical stats. And then Gulaxi in goal, who was one of the best keepers early game last year. I used him for the first month or two because I used a team very similar to this to compete at the start of the game. Now that is basically, to me, slightly better than the Premier League team. If you look at the Premier League team, that's what it looks like. It's a good team, very good team. In my opinion, this is better. I think this is a better team than that. Now, I've got Neuer down here. This team without Neuer in it, right? I'm going to put it written down here. On PlayStation is 295k. That is nearly 300,000 coins cheaper. 300,000 coins cheaper than the PS team, which is ridiculous. On Xbox, it's 255,000 coins with Galaxy, and this is. That's what? About 230,000 coins cheaper than the Premier League team. In my opinion, this is a better team. Even if you add Neuer into it, an unbelievable keeper in this game is always overpowered as anything. The team for the Bundesliga comes to 365k on PlayStation, which is still 225,000 coins cheaper than the Premier League team, and 309k on Xbox, which is about 180k or so cheaper than the Premier League team. There is no way that I will have it convinced to me that this team is worth double this team. Take Neuer out and put Galaxy back in again. There is no way that I will be convinced that that Premier League team is better than that team. There's just no way in my opinion. And this is what I'm saying. The Premier League always has mad hype about it. And so you have to bear that in mind when it comes down to building your team. Because that is 300,000 coins on PlayStation you then have left to do SBCs, to trade with, and improve your team bit by bit by bit. That is where I'd be looking to put my starting coins in. Now, is this a starter team? Not really. If we're being entirely honest, like Laimer might make your starter team, and Babu maybe, Klosterman, Bellarabi, Hwang Hee-chan, you're probably going to go for lesser players than these guys. But we're talking a couple of weeks into the game and where you should start placing your coins. I'd be placing them in the leagues that aren't the Premier League. Serie A. For example, Joe Gomez is listed at 120,000 coins, okay? 120,000 coins for Joe Gomez on in the Premier League. And 100,000 coins on Xbox. Now, if you take a look at Manolas, he is much harder to link. I understand that. It's not as easy to link this card. He's Greek in the Serie A. But if we take a little look at this card, back on the same dates, let's go to October, when he wants to do it. Hang on, baby, 2 seconds. October the 13th, Manolas was 8,000 coins on Xbox and 12,000 coins on PS. Another centre-back, rated 83 with 82 pace. Far more competitive because that's 100k you can then go and spend somewhere else. So rather than getting someone like a Rodrigo striker, you can go and get yourself something like a Dybala or someone who's next level, okay? Next level. So it's things like this to think about. But let me show you more. For the price of this Premier League team here, this is the Premier League team here. This is a squad you can build with slightly more coins. I think it's like 30k more expensive. This is a squad you could build on the exact same day. Okay? The exact same day. So I'll run you through this. Insigne at left wing, infinitely usable card. Great pace, great dribbling, good passing, good shooting. That shooting is more than fine for that. Mertens, yes, slightly slower than Rodrigo, but much more shooting, good passing, great dribbling, a really well-rounded card, very good early game. Lozano's in-form card, a 95 pace right mid, good dribbling, good shooting, good passing. He was ridiculously overpowered last year. De Jong in midfield, we know how good he is, 80 pace on the centre mid. Valverde, 86 pace on the centre mid, a brilliantly well-rounded card. Llorente, 84 pace on the centre mid, again, brilliantly well-rounded card. And into the defence, which is absolutely fantastic. Alba at 88 pace. Longley at 74 pace isn't as good, but everyone that used Longley last year knows how good he was. But great defensive stats on him. Diego Carlos, brilliantly well-rounded centre-back. Great pace, great defence, great physicals. Navas, brilliant right-back. Everyone used to say his physical let him down. I used him for ages, it didn't. On FIFA, if they're fast, they just get the ball back anyway. And then in goal, you got Courtois. But actually, what I did to make the squad even cheaper was take him out and replace him with Oblak, because Courtois was expensive because he linked to Varane and Ferland Mendy for that hyperlink. Now, this team came to 613k on PlayStation 4, and on Xbox it came to 531k, so about 50k more expensive than the Premier League team. And I genuinely believe that this team is nowhere near as good as this team. Straight up to me, this team is miles better. And again, it has one common theme. It doesn't contain Premier League players. I can't stress this enough. When the game first comes out, I'll bring out videos to help you guys build ridiculous starter squads that I used last year that are meta. They got me elite in my first week. I'll bring that out and show you guys what you can do. But I can't stress this enough. At the beginning of the game, avoid the Premier League. Unless you get some really good untradeable hits, because you do get a lot of untradeable packs, don't use the Premier League. Sell your Premier League players. Get rid of them. Make loads of coins. Buy yourself an infinitely better team like this from the Bundesliga and leave yourself coins to trade and build up a big budget so you can go out and buy the top level players on this game. To me, my money be on the Bundesliga team there. Let me know what you think down below. I'm open to opinions as always. If you're new around here, make sure you subscribe down below. Make sure your notifications are turned on so you never miss an upload. But for now, I'm out. Peace out. I'll speak to you soon.